Part 66. The Lucky Bag is Reborn with Space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 651. Chapter 651 Death at the Same Time. Fang Xiaowai stood in the nurse's station, rubbing her waist with her hands. I fell down just now and it hurt me. I felt like my waist was twisted. This Zhang Xiaoxiao is really haunting. Is she obviously my nemesis? Nothing good happens every time I meet her. Just now she saw Zhang Xiaoxiao coming out of the doctor's office, so she couldn't help but follow Zhang Xiaoxiao. Unexpectedly, Zhang Xiaoxiao was quite alert and looked back from time to time. Fang Xiaowai could only hide. She is afraid that her appearance will make Zhang Xiaoxiao more vigilant about the changes in Feng Chun's condition. Now no one associates Feng Chun's condition with her, and she has been a little proud recently. I have already obtained 500 points from Feng Chun. If Feng Chun's condition worsens after the operation, he will probably have at least more than 1,000 points by the time he is gone. Because after this bad luck charm is placed on a person, the bad luck points will be obtained from the person one after another. My own cost has been recouped long ago, and exchanging a bad luck charm is only 100 points. In total, the return on this kind of investment is 10 times or even 10 times. Fang Xiaowai has recently been thinking about how to increase the unlucky value faster, and it seems that she has obtained the points this time. You can redeem 5 bad luck charms and put them on 5 people. If 5 people give you unlucky points at the same time, the speed is much faster than doing it one by one. While no one was paying attention, she asked her system to exchange the 500 points for 5 bad luck charms at her desk. This was a cancer hospital. If you want to put this bad luck charm on any patient, it will only accelerate the death of others. No one will doubt her by then. She didn't let them get cancer. Just after finishing the exchange, I heard a ding. Host, please note that the bad luck charm has expired. Fang Xiaowai was shocked. Why does the bad luck charm fail? I exchanged a total of 1 bad luck charm and put it on Feng Chun, but now it suddenly becomes invalid. I have only collected 500 points, and I am still waiting for Feng Chun to become terminally ill and get more points. Why did it suddenly fail? Fang Xiaowai gritted her teeth. It must be Zhang Xiaoxiao, needless to say. Zhang Xiaoxiao must have discovered something and used some method on Feng Chun. Otherwise, how could his bad luck charm fail? This Zhang Xiaoxiao is his nemesis. She gritted her teeth and stamped her feet, and simply put this bad luck charm on Zhang Xiaoxiao. She didn't believe it. Is it possible that Zhang Xiaoxiao is immune to 100 poisons? But then she slumped her shoulders again, knowing that she was just wishful thinking. Since Zhang Xiaoxiao has the means to solve the bad luck charm on Feng Chun, why can't he solve it on herself? If you use tricks on Zhang Xiaoxiao, you are not asking for trouble and wasting your points. Finally, I have accumulated 500 points. There is no way that I will lose everything just because I want to seek revenge on Zhang Xiaoxiao. No, now she has to focus on how to make others miserable. Fang Xiaowai pushed the trolley directly to the ward. After an hour, she returned from all the wards. With a proud smile on his face, all 5 bad luck charms were sent out. I don't believe that Zhang Xiaoxiao still has the ability to remove the bad luck charms from everyone. Fortunately, it was until the afternoon. The bad luck charms she sent out were receiving points normally, and the points were being received faster and faster. It seems that the patient's condition deteriorated very quickly after she sent out the bad luck charm. You must know that when she selected the patient, she specifically selected the patient who was undergoing radiotherapy and chemotherapy and was very weak. In this way, you can get twice the result with half the effort and achieve good results. Fang Xiaowai looked at the points in her system that were gradually growing again. There were now more than 300 points. Otherwise, how about exchanging a few unlucky charms and adding a few more ways to collect points? But just in case, she still kept some money and did not exchange all of it. What if? Feng Chun's surgery on the second day was very successful. When the doctor pushed Feng Chun out, he specifically told Zhang Xiaoxiao, "I don't know why the tumor in Feng Chun's body had grown by 3 centimeters during the imaging examination that day, but after they opened the abdominal cavity, they discovered that the tumor in Feng Chun's body had returned to its original state. I don't know if there was an error in the contrast photo or if there was something wrong with it, but it was just as they expected. Because the tumor had not spread seriously, the surgery was very successful in removing the tumor." A week later, Feng Chun did not even receive chemotherapy or radiotherapy. The doctors and nurses were surprised to find out. Feng Chun's recovery is very good, and there are no signs of cancer cells at all. 10 days later, Feng Chun'er was ready to be discharged from the hospital. Zhang Xiaoxiao and Song Moding came to pick Feng Chun out of the hospital. The 4 of them carried their things and walked downstairs, but when they were on the first floor, they heard mournful cries. "Mom, why did you go? The doctor clearly said that your operation was successful. How did you go so fast?" "Dad, you walked too fast. Dad, if you leave your son behind, what will you do?" Elder sister. Zhang Xiaoxiao was surprised. Suddenly, the place was surrounded by the patient's family members, and it sounded like 5 people had died at once. 5 patients almost lost both their front and back legs. All of them had cancer cells that suddenly spread after surgery in the oncology department. And the condition was very serious. It took almost a week for such a serious deterioration to occur. The doctor had no time to save him and the person died. The patient's family members seriously suspect that there was a medical malpractice. Otherwise, how could it be possible that 5 people were undergoing radiotherapy and chemotherapy at the same time, and their condition worsened at the same time, and the time of death was almost the same? Zhang Xiaoxiao walked out of the hospital, and when he was about to get in the car in the parking lot, he raised his head and glanced at the inpatient department from a distance. Unconsciously, he saw Fang Xiaowai standing in front of the window on the second floor. Probably because of his concentration, Fang Xiaowai did not see Zhang Xiaoxiao. Fang Xiaowai had a weird smile on her lips and stared eagerly at the crying patient's family members downstairs. That smile made Zhang Xiaoxiao shiver. Because that smile was so scary, that smile was like the heroine in a horror movie I watched, like a demon crawling out of hell. Zhang Xiaoxiao suddenly had a feeling that this matter might have something to do with Fang Xiaowai. But why did Fang Xiaowai want to harm these people? She was sitting in the car and didn't even think about it when she got home. Killing these people will do no good to Fang Xiaowai at all. But this thing is too weird. Feng Chun and Li Guangming got out of the car, and Song Moding held Jiang's small hand tightly. Just now he noticed that his wife seemed to be pale and frightened. She was distracted and didn't know what she was thinking. End of this chapter. The lucky bag is reborn with space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 652. Chapter 652, Hairy Rabbit. What's wrong with you? What are you thinking about? Zhang Xiaoxiao took out his hand and touched his belly, which seemed to make him feel at ease. She always felt as if there was some danger approaching, but she couldn't tell where the danger was. Mo Ting, find someone to investigate Fang Xiaowai. It's best to follow Fang Xiaowai. I want to know what happened to Fang Xiaowai. I always have a feeling that the people who died downstairs today may be related to Fang Xiaowai. Zhang Xiao's little fingers were cold. Song Moding touched her cheek and gave her cheeks a hint of blush. Okay, leave this to me, don't worry so much. Zhang Xiaoxiao nodded, and Song Moding watched his wife get out of the car. His eyes gradually became cold. He knew that Zhang Xiaoxiao had magical abilities, so since she said that, there must be some strange reason. It seems that there should be something different about Fang Xiaowai. I will never allow anyone to harm my wife, children, and family. Song Moding called. Boss, Why do you want to make a phone call? Are we going on a mission? Help me arrange for a rattlesnake to keep an eye on a person. I want her detailed information and require 24-hour tracking. There may be dangerous people. You must pay attention to your own safety and remind the rattlesnake not to be careless. Okay, boss, don't worry, a cautious person like Rattlesnake will never get into trouble. 2 days later, Feng Chun and Li Guangming made a special trip to treat everyone to a meal as a way of thanking everyone, and also proposed that they were going to buy train tickets to go home. The couple sincerely thanked Zhang Xiaoxiao and the Zhang family. Fan Qiuying and Zhang Lishi also said that from now on, the two families will treat each other as relatives. Let them take their children to Kyoto if they have time. Anyway, their children are also in Kyoto. Song Moding bought sleeper tickets for the couple. The two of them carried a bunch of gifts in large and small bags and boarded the train. Although Bai Yi was reluctant to leave her mother, she still sent her mother on the train. Bai Jifang did not go back. Originally, he was here to take care of others, but now that he is here, there is basically no use for him. Everything was taken care of by Fan Qiuying, Zhang Lishi, Zhang Xiaoxiao, and Song Moding. Zhang Lei saw that he was of no use to a grown man and was idle at home, so he took him to his friend's house. Aren't you going to raise a long-haired rabbit? How can I do it if I don't go to others to learn technology? Two people are now at his friend's woolly rabbit breeding base. Not to mention, when Bai Jifang saw all this, his eyes became hot. Looking at this man in his 20s or 19, he has raised so many long-haired rabbits by himself, with an annual income of 100,000. Bai Jifang himself is a bit ambitious. It's really hard to study. Although he is uneducated, he is fortunate to be a down-to-earth person. Because the other party is a friend brought by Zhang Lei, and he is also a foreigner, he basically has no impact on his business. He is taught step by step, and there is no secret at all. Half a month later, Bai Jifang not only learned a complete set of breeding knowledge, but also learned how to prevent and treat long-haired rabbits. When Zhang Lei picked him up, he was given 10 pairs of breeding rabbits as a special gift. This is a free gift, which is equivalent to people supporting the creation of his career. Bai Jifang took the train directly from Kyoto back to their small village. Thanks to the help of Section Chief Wei and others, these 10 pairs of long-haired rabbits were shipped as consignments, otherwise they would not have been able to come back with him. This long-haired rabbit can't get on the train either. After experiencing many difficulties and dangers along the way, I finally returned home with these 10 pairs of rabbits. Qifen was overjoyed to see her husband after not seeing her husband for more than a month. Li Guangming and Feng Chun have already taken their daughter back. She knew that her husband had not come back, so she was looking forward to the stars and the moon. I saw the 10 pairs of long-haired rabbits I brought with me. Can this rabbit be raised? Besides, where can it be sold? I've never heard of anyone in our village raising this kind of rabbit. Qifen was worried while feeding the rabbit according to Bai Jifang's instructions. Bai Jifang said there while taking a towel to wipe the water on his head after washing his face. Don't worry about it. It's better if no one takes care of us in 8 villages. We are the only one. If we take good care of him, the people in the village will be jealous. Who can not take care of him? I went to see Li Jiangguo. The long-haired rabbits raised there can earn hundreds of thousands a year, and their homes are built with bricks and tiles. Not only did I buy a TV set, but also a washing machine. They even bought a car. Bai Jifang mentioned everything he had witnessed in Li Jiangguo, and it was simply extremely ambitious. In the past, he had a small vision and always felt that he was inferior to others, not as capable or educated as others, but now that he has gone out with others, he has learned some skills. He is confident that he can live the life that others can live, as long as he works hard and studies more. Qifen rolled her eyes at Jifang. Just brag. You can still afford a car by raising a long-haired rabbit. Do you know that Li Fuegui from the village next door spent tens of thousands of yuan on the car they bought? That car pulls you are making money. Do you think that is a job that ordinary people can do? I have never heard of anyone making so much money raising chickens and rabbits. Qifen doesn't believe it. Bai Jifang threw the towel in his hand into the basin. You don't believe it? I didn't believe it before. I thought raising chickens and rabbits could accomplish great things. I didn't see that the chicken farms in our village were all gone. But this time I went to Jiangguo's place and followed him. Li Jiangguo learned so much before he knew it. People need to be educated and knowledgeable. It is easy for people with education and knowledge to make money. Look at the rabbits they raise, how fat and strong they are, and how long their hair is. Buyers are queuing up and can't even buy their rabbits. Li Jiangguo told me that there are few rabbits on the market now and there are many people asking for goods, so the supply exceeds demand. By the way, Li Jiangguo also told me that it would be great if there were no woolly rabbits raised near our village. Tell me, this is called the first person to eat crabs. Generally, the first person to eat crabs can make a lot of money. By the time everyone else knows that rabbits make money, the first person to raise rabbits will be the first one to raise rabbits. It has established a firm foothold in the market and has a stable supply of goods. This is called a market economy. Bai Jifang's eloquent words really frightened Qifen, but he didn't expect his man to go out. With this knowledge, this person can become eloquent. He could not say these words before. Okay, be the first to eat a crab. What is this crab? Bai Jifang was also questioned. I don't know what this crab is, no matter what it is, it must be something I've never seen before. Qifen is happy. Okay, you got these ancestors back, and now start building nests for your ancestors, otherwise, how can we raise these rabbits in our house? End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Lucky Bag is reborn with space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 653. Chapter 653 Experiment. Qin Dazhuang pushed his pancake stall to the school gate to sell pancakes again. It came early today, and the people who came to set up stalls were all busy setting up their stalls. Qin Dazhuang has a stall holder next to him. A lean man with a sharp mouth and monkey cheeks. One look at that look, and he looks like a well-rounded person. What kind of stall is this? It's actually a poker stall. Qin Dazhuang glanced at this sensitive thing, and his heart skipped a beat. It seemed like this was gambling. His hand pushing the cart tightened the handle of his own cart, thought about it, and then pushed the cart several meters to the side, much further away from the stall. Later, I simply touched my chin, and the person turned around and prepared to push the cart to another place. Fortunately, there were regular customers buying pancakes, so Qin Dazhuang had to stop the car and start setting up a stall there. The monkey felt happy. This ancestor is really determined, but it's a pity that I came today just to drag him into trouble. Zhang Xiaoxiao was sitting in the car with glutinous rice balls. Song Moding looked at his wife and son with their eyes widened, looking straight at Qin Dazhuang. I was also puzzled. On this beautiful Sunday, the two of them didn't ask him to take him to the park for a walk, but they came here to watch Qin Dazhuang set up a stall. Furthermore, my wife-in-law also said that there is a good show to watch. Song Moding is depressed. What is there to see? Let's see what Qin Dazhuang is doing. Tang Yuan, is there a dark cloud over your second uncle's head now? Tang Yuan shook his head. No, I just saw that there was no dark cloud at all over my second uncle's head. Zhang Xiaoxiao nodded with satisfaction. Song Moding cleared his throat. Is there anything he doesn't know about this? What dark cloud? Zhang Xiaoxiao explained in a low voice, Tang Yuan can see things that others cannot. Tang Yuan said that he saw dark clouds above Feng Chun's head. Sure enough, Feng Chun's condition worsened. This is true, although there was her intervention that later changed the outcome. But what Tang Yuan said is an indisputable fact. Song Moding nodded, he knew this. My wife is too helpful. However, in the matter of Feng Chun, since they know it, it can't be justified. A drop of water on the tip of a leaf may have no effect on people, but it is like rain from heaven on ants on the ground. It's just a simple task and does not violate principles and morals. Song Moding also agrees with this. Since having a child, the couple feels that as long as it is not harmful to others or themselves, they can help if they can. Even if it is to accumulate virtue for the sake of their children, both of them are willing to do so. What's more, as a doctor, Zhang Xiaoxiao is born with a calm nature, no regrets, and takes saving lives and healing the wounded as her own responsibility. Maybe she will resent everything in her previous life and want to take revenge, but in fact, Zhang Xiaoxiao is still a person with a bottom line. An upright and above-board doctor. She couldn't change her belief even if she tried it again. Zhang Xiaoxiao insisted on going his own way, but Song Moding indulged and doted on him, and then he became a compassionate couple. To put it bluntly, this is what people think of as the Holy Mother. What does that have to do with Qin Dazhuang? Is it difficult for Qin Dazhuang to have dark clouds over his head? This is the only explanation that Song Moding can make sense. It was there before, but not now. Song Moding shrugged, then why are you here? They are too busy. We do experiments. Zhang Xiaoxiao looked at the monkey and started shouting with a smile. Those who are passing by, take a look, young and old, this is a huge profit. If you guess the cards, you will get 10 yuan, 2 cents at a time. If you buy with 2 cents, you will suffer a loss, and you will not be fooled. But with 2 cents, you can't buy it? I can get half a month's worth of food money. Zhang Xiaoxiao frowned. What is this monkey going to do? I didn't let the monkey do this. Monkey was introduced by Jin Dachuan. Is one of his employees, this person is the most prolific on the street, and he knows all about bullshit. He can also speak well and is a person who can do this. What exactly is the experiment testing? It's not like you don't know Qin Dazhuang. He's a gambler and prone to violence. You still dare to do experiments on him like this? Could it be that you think he can change his ways and then bring Qin Dazhuang and Qin Dazhuang together? Are you living with your sister? Song Moding guessed that his daughter-in-law did not want to benefit the world. Who brought Qin Dazhuang together with my sister? I wanted to test whether the dark cloud over Qin Dazhuang's head was caused by his gambling or his violent tendencies. The dark cloud is gone, right? Prove that he has really changed his mind. Zhang Xiaoxiao is curious about the formation of dark clouds. Tang Yuan said that when he saw other patients in the hospital, he did not see dark clouds, which was very strange. Theoretically, Feng Chun is no different from other patients and is an ordinary patient. But there were dark clouds over Feng Chun's head. 2 hours is the best time for business at noon. When the 2 hours pass, students will go back to school and there will be no people on the street at this time. There are almost no people in front of the business stalls, and some small traders have already started to close their stalls. Qin Dazhuang is also preparing to close the stall and go home. Today's business is not bad, and he has earned more than 10 yuan. Because he is honest in business and his craftsmanship is really good, he has many repeat customers. You can earn at least 70 or 80 yuan in a day like this. He wouldn't even dare to think about this before, but now he can save thousands of dollars in a month. After Qin Dazhuang plans to go home, he will buy a small courtyard and a house this month. When his daughter comes home, she can cook for them at home. It can also be tidied up for the 2 daughters as a room for them to rest and play. The students will have a holiday next month. After the students have a holiday, this business will not be possible. There will be almost no people at the school gate. He planned to go back to his hometown to see his mother after the students were on vacation. No matter what, he did something wrong in the first place. I can't blame my mother for following her sister. Now that he has the ability, he should be more or less filial to his own mother. The monkey next to me came over. Brother, your pancakes are pretty good. How much do they cost? Looking for something to say when I have nothing to say. Qin Dazhuang answered in a loud voice. Add an egg for 50 cents each. Brother, please give me 2 pancakes. I've been busy all day and haven't even breathed yet. I'm almost starving to death. Qin Dazhuang originally didn't want to talk to the man in front of him. But when it comes to doing business and making money, others still buy their own things, and you want to do it yourself. Not doing this business would be a bit unjustifiable. Qin Dazhuang agreed. Okay. Hands and feet quickly, the monkey started to spread out the pancakes. After a while, the monkey had a hot pancake in his hand. Brother, what's your surname? The monkey began to chatter. Qin Dazhuang answered while working. When people ask questions, no matter what, they are still guests and cannot be ignored. Although Qin Dazhuang was not willing to pay attention to this man. End of this chapter. The lucky bag is reborn with space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 654. Chapter 654. Don't be fooled. My surname is Qin. Brother Qin, your business is good. I just saw it and there was an endless stream of people there at noon. Monkey has been sizing up Qin Dazhuang. Qin Dazhuang smiled modestly. Generally speaking, it's all the same. I think your business is also very good. In a long time, many people came to watch the fun. Qin Dazhuang felt that those people were fools. Even he could see that this man was up to something. It would be strange to win a prize. They are all lies. But it's only 2 cents at a time, so many people don't care much about it. A little adds up to a lot. Here, brother, $1. Qin Dazhuang baked the second pancake and handed it to the monkey. The monkey touched his pocket and saw 50 yuan apiece. Ouch! Brother, there is no change. Qin Dazhuang was dumbfounded. He didn't even have 50 in his pocket. Not many people have 50 yuan in their pockets these days. This is not to make things difficult for yourself. Look around, want to borrow money? Qin Dazhuang goes home early every time he finishes his business, and at most he just says hello to the stall owners around him for the sake of face. When it comes to such a big matter of borrowing money, I'm afraid no one will be willing to help. Besides, no one in business can sell 50 yuan at noon. As for his pancake stall, he just calculated it and only sold it for 24.5 yuan. Excluding the cost, he only made 12 yuan. Brother, I really can't find it, otherwise, I'll give these 2 loaves to you. Qin Dazhuang did not accept the money. If you can't find it yourself, just give it as a favor. The monkey stopped immediately. Brother, this is not okay. We are all doing business. It is not easy to buy and sell people. How can I eat and drink your things for free? I am not that kind of person. Hurry and blushing. Qin Dazhuang waved his hand hurriedly. That's not what I meant, otherwise, next time you have change, just give it to me. He couldn't understand what he said when he was nervous. Monkeys don't do it. Brother Qin, who do you think I am? Am I the kind of person who takes advantage? Besides, after I set up the stall today, if I don't come tomorrow, then I don't owe you a huge favor. That's not true. I'm a human being. I never owe others money. If I owe others money, I won't even be able to sleep well at night. Qin Dazhuang was helpless. Then tell me what to do. There is really nothing we can do against this person. He won't do it unless he takes his money, and he won't do it even if he owes him money. The problem is that he will never be able to find the 50 yuan. The monkey rolled his eyes. How about this, brother? If you play tricks at my stall for $1, it will be worth the 2 pancakes of mine. I will let you play 5 times, so that we will be evened out. Qin Dazhuang shook his head like a rattle. It won't happen, it won't happen. He has sworn not to gamble, but he still has his own oath in his hand. The scar cannot be healed and the pain forgotten. Brother Qin, why can't you do it? You really can't find change. Let's just pay each other. Don't you look down on me. The monkey's triangular eyes glared, quite a bit imposing. Qin Dazhuang was speechless. He was already clumsy and tongue-tied. I really don't look down on you. Forget it, you don't need to pay it back. Just think that I have played 5 times. Look at my hands. This is what I swore to myself in the beginning. I swore that I will never play again in the future. Nor gambling. It was because of gambling that I lost all my money and forced my wife and children to leave. Now that I am alone, can I still gamble? If I bet again, I would be worthy of my wife and children. We are a man who means what he says and stands upright. If even what he says is like a strong wind and disappears as soon as it blows, how can he still be called a man? Qin Dazhuang showed his disabled left hand to the monkey. Monkey glanced at the palm with slightly twisted fingers and felt a little impressed. Not many men can do this. Gambling, once a person becomes addicted, is very difficult to quit. If this man can do this in order to quit gambling, that's really awesome. Admirable. Faced with all kinds of temptations, if people say you don't want to gamble, you won't gamble. I couldn't help but secretly complain and didn't know what bad idea these people had come up with. Such a good person had to let himself seduce others into gambling. Is this something humans do? Brother Qin, small bets make you happy, but big bets are harmful to your health. Can this be considered gambling? It's a matter of 2 cents. Besides, you are not gambling. You are just taking care of my business. What do we call this? Take care of each other. How can we call it gambling? Have you ever heard of 2-cent gambling? After Monkey said this, he felt a little down on himself. When did he become so unprincipled? Even though he has a sinister appearance, others don't think of him as a good person when they see him. But he is really a good person. Although he knows everything and is uneducated, he can do this kind of street tricks. The problem is that he is really a good person and has never harmed others. Now it is better for him to harm a good person, and he also looks down on himself in his heart. But this is a task assigned by superiors. If I don't help Brother Jin, it would be a bit unjustifiable. Brother Jin was very kind to them. What would they do if they didn't have Brother Jin's help when they got home? It's like going back home to farm, but you can't even support your mother. Brother Jin is not a harmful person. Now that Brother Jin has explained it, it proves that there is something really wrong with Qin Dazhuang. Qin Dazhuang smiled and said, "Small gambling is also gambling. Brother, please advise me. This kind of business is unreasonable. You'd better stop doing it and find something else to do. For example, my pancake and fruit business is actually not bad. I can't do it in a day. You can earn more than $10. If you want to learn, I can teach you. It's better than doing this kind of business." Qin Dazhuang is really sincere in his words. The monkey's face turns red. Is he still a human being? Look at this honest man who can actually teach his skills to others. From this point of view, this Qin Dazhuang is definitely a good person. How much money can you make from your pancakes and fruit? I don't even need the capital. I earn money in vain every day. Otherwise, why don't you just learn my craft from me? Your pancakes and fruit will have to pay for the cost. Noodles you want oil, you want eggs, you want all kinds of things, but I don't want anything here. A few playing cards. This is a business without capital. Monkey activates its powerful tongue. Qin Dazhuang waved his hand. Young man, I still advise you. It's better not to come into contact with this thing. It's harmful to people. Packed up his cart and stopped talking nonsense with the monkey. Qin Dazhuang left directly. The monkey spread his hands. It's not that he doesn't work, it's that others are not fooled. This is called a strong will, and he likes this kind of person. This is called a man. At this moment, a woman came over. End of this chapter. The lucky bag is reborn with space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 655. Chapter 655. Too many eyes open. Fang Xiaowai was a little worried. There was nothing she could do about it. 5 patients died at the same time in the hospital. This matter was really big. Even if I say there was no medical accident, no one would believe it. Have you ever heard of 5 cancer patients who underwent surgery dying at the same time? Are the conditions serious at the same time? The health bureau above is conducting a thorough investigation of their hospital, and the staff below are already trembling with fear because of this. The entire cancer hospital must be thoroughly investigated from top to bottom. Fang Xiaowai secretly cursed herself for being stupid, why she didn't use her brain when doing things. Just thinking about the points is very satisfying, and I don't even think about it. 5 talismans at the same time, even if they are staggered, are better than throwing them out at once. It's good now. The points in her hand have suddenly increased to 6,000 points. The problem is that she doesn't dare to do anything in the hospital. If someone discovers anything strange at all, she may die without knowing. Fang Xiaowai is also very smart and knows that these trump cards in her hand must not be discovered by others. Ordinary people will definitely treat her as a monster and stay away from her after they find out. People with status and ability may regard her as a target and want to control her for their own use. Thinking about her ability makes people feel scared. As long as she causes harm to anyone, that person will be in extreme misfortune. This bad luck charm is used on a patient, and the patient's condition will accelerate. If it were used on other people, they would be hit by a car when going out and choked to death even if they drank water. This has become a normal thing. Fang Xiaowai doesn't want to expose herself. As for the members of the Song family, Mr. Song and Mrs. Song can protect Zhang Xiaoxiao, but they cannot protect themselves. Once this ability is discovered, it may be taken to a research institute and sliced for careful examination. She doesn't want to never see her daughter again. Fang Xiaowai has so many points in her hand, she feels like she is suddenly rich. And after tasting the pleasure of gaining points, I immediately thought of other ways. You can never harm the people around you. People say that rabbits cannot eat grass beside their nests. Although the patients in the hospital are strangers to her, whether they are good or not has nothing to do with her, and she has no psychological burden. But it will eventually involve her work. You can't rely on this system to make a living. In the end, in real life, you still have to earn money from your own work to eat and clothe yourself. In this case, of course you have to make good use of the resources you have at hand. So Fang Xiaowai considered going outside to sow this bad luck charm. Of course, she had already thought of a way to get a higher position. She is now the head nurse. In addition to performing well at your job, you must remove everyone who blocks your promotion path. After these stumbling blocks are removed, the rest will naturally be smooth sailing. Fang Xiaowai's purpose of coming here this time is not simple. There is everyone here in the university town, so it's not like the university town is still involved with their cancer hospital. And after careful consideration this time, I decided to put this bad luck charm out, but I couldn't put out so many at once. You have to choose people, and place them every few days. In this way, if everyone has different degrees of unlucky, no one will notice. That's what Fang Xiaowai is here to do. What the monkey saw was Fang Xiaowai. Then Fang Xiaowai couldn't stand the man in front of her with sinister features. At first glance, such a person does not look like a good person. Since she is not a good person, whether she is unlucky or not has nothing to do with her. Besides, she cares most about no one else except herself and her daughter. When she suffered so much in her last life, no one stretched out a hand to her, and she won't care about anyone in this life either. She gave birth to her daughter, so she will naturally take good care of her, but apart from her daughter, it doesn't matter whether anyone else lives or dies. The monkey looked at this woman, staring at him with disgust, and couldn't help curling his lips. Who is this? Obviously this is a dog's eyes that looks down on people and judges people by their appearance. There is nothing you can do if you have this kind of virtue. My father and mother gave birth to it. Can he tell others that I am a good person, and a good person does not engrave on his face? It's not like I haven't seen that kind of person who looks like a gentleman, but his stomach is full of black water, bad and oily. Girl, let's play 2 games, 2 cents each. If you win, you will get up to 10 yuan. When you look at the girl, she looks like a lucky star. You will definitely win a big prize. Monkey has a sly look on his face, although he actually speaks seriously, but there is nothing he can do about it. Due to years of habit, when he opens his mouth, others will treat him as a fool. Fang Xiaohuai's eyes widened. I want to curse a few words. But suddenly a plan occurred to him. I haven't understood the system that appeared inexplicably until now. It seemed that I would test this bad luck charm to see how unlucky it would be, so I quietly threw out a bad luck charm. Of course no one can see it. Even Zhang Xiaoxiao and the others who were sitting far away in the car didn't see it, but Tang Yuaner immediately told her mother. Mom, Uncle Monkey suddenly has a dark cloud over his head. Tang Yuan's words made Zhang Xiaoxiao startled. In order to observe Qin Dazhuang just now, Zhang Xiaoxiao asked Tang Yuan to look at all the people around him. There were no dark clouds over everyone's head. The monkey had also seen it just now. There were no dark clouds over his head at that time. Fang Xiaowai came, and the monkey's head suddenly there were dark clouds above. This is a bit strange. Zhang Xiaoxiao looked at Fang Xiaowai carefully. She doesn't believe that there are such coincidences in the world. It's really hard to understand that dark clouds can appear so strangely. A dark cloud appeared over Feng Chun's head. At first, his son said that there were no dark clouds over Feng Chun's head, but Fang Xiaowai was Feng Chun's head nurse. The same is true now. There are no dark clouds over the monkey's head. Fang Xiaowai appears, and the monkey has dark clouds now. These two together can confirm the fact that Fang Xiaowai has some special ability. There is space in myself, maybe there is something strange about Fang Xiaowai. Can change a person's destiny. Until now, Zhang Xiaoxiao is very strange. His rebirth can be understood as the tragic experience of his family in his previous life. His efforts to survive and want to change the fate of his family may have moved God. In addition, as a doctor in his previous life, he did cure diseases and save people. Medical ethics and skills are praised by people. If you save more people, you can naturally accumulate merit. It is natural to be reborn in this life and change the fate of your family. But what about Fang Xiaowai? Fang Xiaowai had never done anything to help others in her previous life. This kind of person who harmed others without benefiting herself was reborn and was given a special ability. This is so disgusting to God. Do you think good people will be rewarded? Zhang Xiaoxiao held his breath and looked at the monkey. End of this chapter. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Lucky Bag is reborn with space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 656. Chapter 656 Lost 3000. Okay, let's play a few games. Fang Xiaowai spoke happily. Monkey was surprised and looked at the woman suspiciously. It's true that people cannot be judged by their appearance. A woman who looks like a gentle and elegant person actually came here to gamble. It's true that gambling does not distinguish between men and women. It's very simple. There are 3 playing cards, and you see that this one is an ace. Look at it. I will place these 3 cards randomly and move them around. In the end, you only need to guess which one it is and you will win. Best of 3 games. As long as you win 2 games, you can get the top prize of 10 yuan. Monkey quickly moved the cards in his hand while explaining. For him, this kind of thing requires quick hands and eyes. As for the girl in front of him, he believed that he could fool her casually. Monkey pointed to the 3 cards in front of him. Let's start. Fang Xiaowai looked at it. She had never touched such a thing in her life. I didn't even understand it, let alone understand it, and of course I didn't understand it. She didn't even notice where the card was. But she believed in throwing out her bad luck charm. Now, the wretched man opposite must be at the most unlucky time, and his unlucky time is naturally the time when he has the best luck. Fang Xiaowai pointed at a card at random. Just that one. Monkey smiled proudly. Okay girl, take a look. He lifted the plate with force and dropped it on the table. Then I was dumbfounded. Damn it, I remembered that I didn't put this card here. Fang Xiaowai pursed her lips and smiled. It was just as she expected. She didn't expect this bad luck charm to have such an effect. Why didn't I think of it? When I use this bad luck charm in the future, I can't just think about getting points. Think about how to use this bad luck charm to create greater benefits for yourself. Power and money are at your fingertips. The monkey looked as if he had seen a ghost to please her. Again, didn't you say we would win 2 out of 3 games? The monkey touched his head and looked carefully to see if the card was correct. This card was his own. The girl didn't even touch the cards, so she definitely couldn't be causing trouble. I guess I am still a little dizzy when I see a beautiful young girl. The beauty is misleading. Okay, come again. This one. Come again. This one. Come again. That one. Come again. 2 hours passed, and cold sweat broke out on the monkey's forehead. At first he was unconvinced. He didn't believe that he was so quick-sighted. How could he not win against the girl opposite him? But now, it is no longer a question of whether he can win or not. But the girl in front of him won a total of 3,000 yuan from him. His luck is simply not that good. The monkeys were trembling a little. He couldn't play anymore. In order to show off when he went out, Jin Dago deliberately packed some money with him, but at that time he thought 500 yuan was enough. I have now exported 3,000 yuan. Later on, the monkey realized that he was a bit of a gambler. This is just like a gambler. The more he loses, the more he wants to gamble, and the more he gambles, the more he loses. Now, like a snowball, I am saddled with a debt of 3,000 yuan. The monkey was so anxious that he scratched his head and ears. Okay, stop betting. If you keep betting, I think you will lose your pants. Now give me all the prizes I won. I will go back after you exchange them. Fang Xiaowai was a little proud. Her face is rosy, her eyes are bright, and her whole person is in high spirits. At this moment, Fang Xiaowai suddenly opened the door to the whole world, and suddenly realized how great and magical what she had was. She was so narrow-minded before, how could she waste so many years? This thing is simply a waste in my own hands, and I can only make some small fuss. Look at how this thing can really play its role now that it is in your hands. You can have money and power, and anyone who dares to offend her will die without a burial place. This is a big killer. The monkey's face darkened. Why do you want to deny it? You said it yourself, and so many people around you are watching. Fang Xiaowai pointed to the crowd of onlookers around him. With so many people watching, this was what he said he had won. Even if the police come, this cannot be regarded as gambling. It is difficult for a monkey to dismount from a tiger. Young man, you have to be honest when doing business. You said so yourself. We all heard clearly that if you guessed 2 out of 3 games, you won the prize. If you don't honor it, you are committing fraud. What kind of person is he? If he wins the prize, he immediately becomes silent. If we don't win the prize, he will be happy to receive the money. I can see this morning that he has collected a lot of money. The girls must have noticed that there was something fishy about him and came here to deal with him. People like him must be liars out to defraud money. Everyone was filled with indignation for a moment, pointing at the monkey and giving him various lessons. There was no way anyone could make the image of the monkey not take advantage of him. In the eyes of everyone, he was just a street gangster. When Fang Xiaowai took a look, he was a righteous and bullied weakling. Everyone will believe whatever Fang Xiaowai says. Monkey opened his mouth helplessly. He couldn't come up with so much money. What to do? Just run. Secretly regretting in his heart, Qin Dazhuan couldn't fall into his trap just now. They left, so he just had to close the stall and leave. Why do you want to provoke the woman in front of you? It's better to fall into your own pit this time. The problem with this pit is that you can't even climb out of it. Someone tapped the monkey on the shoulder. The monkey turned his head impatiently. What are you doing? But he saw Jin Dachuan standing beside him at some point. The momentum is weak. He lowered his head with a guilty conscience. Girl is willing to admit defeat. Since we set up a stall to do business, we must be honest. Here is 3,000 yuan. Take it. Since you won the prize, it should be given to you. Jin Dachuan politely handed over the money, and everyone was in an uproar. Unexpectedly, the stall owner really recognized this account. This is 3,000 yuan. In the eyes of ordinary people, this is equivalent to 100 years of salary. Thank you very much, boss. Fang Xiaowai proudly stuffed 3,000 yuan into her small purse and glanced at the monkey triumphantly. This time, this wretched man is still proud of himself and wants to fool himself. He doesn't know that his bad luck charm can be so powerful. Turn around and leave. As soon as other people saw that Fang Xiaowai really got 3,000 yuan, they immediately swarmed over. I play. I'll do 10 rounds. I'm coming too. Jin Dachuan waved his hand hurriedly. Everyone, please listen to me. Our stall is no longer open. We are no longer open. Why don't you show it? If you lose money, you won't show it? Why can't we play if that woman can play? Just because we haven't eaten lunch yet, we have to go back and have a meal first. Only when we are full can we be able to set up a stall for everyone, right? You can't let us starve to everyone. Jin Dachuan pulled the monkey and squeezed through the crowd to leave. TCH, maybe that woman just now is with them, and is deliberately attracting us to do business. Some people have doubts. You are stupid. Can they be a group? If they are a group, now we are all eager to play. Why don't they collect the money quickly? The crowd could only disperse gradually. End of this chapter. The lucky bag is reborn with space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 657. Chapter 657, Bad Luck. Brother, I don't know what's going on. That woman is so weird. After playing so many games, she points to which card. Obviously I remember clearly that I didn't put that card, but I turned over that card, it just turned into a big old ace. It's extremely evil. The monkey is dejected. This is 3,000 yuan. Although his monthly salary is quite high, he can earn more than 200 yuan a month. The problem is that he still has to work for 2 years to repay the money. How come he has such a heavy hand today? Jin Dachuan brought the monkey to Song Moding's car. Get in the car. The monkey glanced at Song Moding and Zhang Xiaoxiao. Zhang Xiaoxiao was sitting in the passenger seat with Tang Yuan in his arms, and the seat behind was empty. How didn't recognize them, but he got into the back seat with Jin Dachuan, closed the car door, and Song Moding drove the car until he arrived at a secluded lake. Monkeys are a little wary. Why do you feel that the atmosphere is a little wrong? But seeing that his eldest brother Jin Dachuan looked relaxed and had a slight smile on his face, he didn't take this matter to heart, and seemed to be very relieved about the two people in the car. Brothers and sisters, do you see anything? Jin Dachuan also felt strange. Of course he knew the monkey, but he had no ability, so he dared to send the monkey out. Zhang Xiaoxiao handed Jin Dachuan a pill. Jin Dachuan threw it to the monkey. The monkey held the pill in his hand with his face covered. Brother, what does this mean? I am unlucky and I am not sick. Do you think I am crazy? With a look of anger on his face, he felt that this was an insult to his character. Who thinks you are crazy? I watched the whole thing quietly, from the beginning to the end. The problem is definitely not with you. I don't know your method. How could anyone be faster than you? Even I can't win at your hands several times. The only possibility is that the girl is either very lucky or her means are higher than yours. The monkey was satisfied. Then why are you giving me pills? You can eat whatever I ask you to eat, why do you talk so much? Jin Dachuan glared at him fiercely. The monkey whispered aggrievedly, now I should go to the temple to pray to God and worship Buddha, burn incense and get rid of the bad luck on my body. It's really unlucky. Would not eat alive or dead. Zhang Xiaoxiao glanced at the monkey. Then why don't you get out of the car and sit by the lake for a while, and then take it after you figure it out? By the way, I'd better give this pill to your elder brother. Zhang Xiaoxiao is not forced. The monkey threw the pill to Jin Dachuan angrily. I opened the door and got out of the car, stepped on the ground, and heard a pop. Zhang Xiaoxiao took a look. A pile of dog at the monkey's feet. Stepped in a bunch of dog shit. Monkey is angry and angry. Grandma, isn't this bullying? You even bully me with shit. While walking, I rubbed my shoes the ground to get rid of the shit. As a result, I didn't see the road ahead, and bumped into a tree branch on the roadside, and then fell directly into the lake. 10 minutes later, the monkey was fished out of the lake by Jin Dachuan in a state of embarrassment. The monkey either can't swim, or its legs suddenly cramped after falling into the lake for some unknown reason. Monkey is scared when he thinks about it now. At that time, he felt like he was really going to die here. If Jin Dachuan hadn't jumped down in time, he would probably have farted by now. The monkey was sneezing and shivering, and he was really depressed. How unlucky this must be. Brother, what's going on? Why am I so unlucky? You'd better stay away from me. Don't let me get you into trouble for a while. At this time, the monkey began to become cautious even when walking, and looked around with vigilant eyes, fearing that if he kicked it, he would either fall into dog feces or trip over a stone. Is there anyone more unlucky than myself? Jin Dachuan could not hide the surprise on his face. He had no idea how the monkey became like this. Nothing happened when he sent the monkey out this morning. How could the monkey be so unlucky in just such a short time? This is not just bad luck, it is simply bad luck. Zhang Xiaoxiao took a look, and Song Moding was also surprised. Then look at the glutinous rice balls. The glutinous rice were covering their mouths and enjoying themselves. Brother Jin asked him to take the medicine first. Zhang Xiaoxian was also surprised. What method did Fang Xiaowai use to manage monkey like this? Jin Dachuan forced the pill into the monkey's mouth. The monkey was unprepared and the pill had already entered his mouth. There was no special medicinal smell. On the contrary, it has a sweet and refreshing fragrance, and the saliva in your mouth suddenly turns into a pool of liquid and goes directly down the throat. The monkey swallowed it. Mom, the dark cloud over Uncle's head is gone. Tang Yuan said quietly. Zhang Xiaoxiao felt confident now. She was also afraid that if Fang Xiaowai's ability really made people so unlucky, and if there was no solution, their whole family would suffer. Who does Fang Xiaowai hate the most? Hate Zhang Xiaoxiao the most. He also hates his son, and even more so, his husband. Those are the people who took away all her love. Of course, they might even hate the Zhang family. If someone throws this power onto everyone, the whole family might be in chaos. The result is either death or injury. Looking at the unlucky situation of the monkey, you will know that if a person is unlucky, his teeth will be jammed when he drinks cold water. This is truly reflected. Fortunately, my own pills can solve this problem. No wonder the doctor said during the last operation after Feng Chun took his own pills that the tumor was not as big as seen on the images. Instead, it was the same as they expected. It seems that the last pill he took by mistake solved Feng Chun's bad luck. Zhang Xiaoxiao is curious about Fang Xiaowai. When did he get this ability? If it had been there a long time ago, how could Fang Xiaowai have spent this time dealing with her in the past few years? Although she was wary of Fang Xiaowai at first, she never thought that she would have such an ability, as long as she used it on herself quietly. Maybe you will be unlucky for many years. I'm afraid I'm not sure what I'll be like now that I've arrived at the educated youth farm. However, it is impossible to say that her ability has just appeared. Because Zhang Xiaoxiao suddenly remembered the changes in the old lady. This abnormal change in the old lady might be related to Fang Xiaowai. The old lady suddenly woke up later. I asked Song Moding himself, and Song Moding remembered that his grandma took a sip of peach juice, and then something seemed wrong. It seems that Fang Xiaowai did use these methods on her family members. Zhang Xiaoxiao couldn't help but think of Qin Dazhuang. He was originally such an honest and kind man. Even though his second sister had passed away in his previous life, his second brother-in-law did not become such a man. In this life, he became a victim of domestic violence and gambling. Although I don't know how the second brother-in-law recovered, judging from the description Tang Yuan gave her, the dark clouds over the second brother-in-law's head were lifted. No matter how it is interpreted. In other words, it is very likely that Qin Dazhuang changed his nature and suddenly became beyond recognition, all thanks to Fang Xiaowai. End of this chapter. The lucky bag is reborn with space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 658. Chapter 658 Training. After Ho Ho and Jin Dachuan were sent back to their office, Song Moding and Zhang Xiaoxiao took glutinous rice home. Both of them felt a little heavy. Song Moding is such a smart person. From what happened just now and what Tang Yuan said, he instantly understood that Fang Xiaowai was not an ordinary person. When Monkey first started doing business, his business was booming and no one could make a dime from him. However, since Fang Xiaowai came, Monkey has lost many battles. The world is too fantasy now. He was already troubled by the strange things about his wife, and he also had a son who was born with his own skills. It's a good time now, because the enemies are all talented people and strangers. Should ordinary people like them be allowed to live? Zhang Xiaoxiao just returns it. My daughter-in-law is born with a kind heart and a bodhisattva heart. She is born with the character of a doctor who can help the world and save people. A small amount of power can save more people, and having power cannot cause harm to the world. Tang Yuan is even more impossible. But Fang Xiaowai is doing great harm to others. Song Moding pursed his lips tightly. I deeply considered whether I should find an opportunity to kill Fang Xiaowai. Zhang Xiaoxiao could guess what Song Moding was thinking, so he squeezed his hand and said, "No." Song Moding held Jiang's small hand tightly with his back hand. It was delicate and warm, and it always warmed his heart. "What don't you want?" Zhang Xiaoxiao glanced at his confused son, who was currently playing with the toy gun in his hand on the back seat. This guy is almost born with an innate sensitivity to mechanical movements. He is a person who draws inferences from one instance to another. Zhang Xiaoxiao feels that when Tang Yuan grows up, it is very likely that he will follow Song Moding's path. She felt distressed, but there was nothing she could do. Tang Yuan's life cannot be restricted by others, and everyone's life should be free. You should be allowed to make your own choices. As a mother, she cannot act arbitrarily. In the name of your own good, I restrain the glutinous rice balls. We don't know what's going on with Fang Xiaowai now. We can't mess around and act rashly. Once Fang Xiaowai escapes, there will be endless troubles. Don't forget that there are many family members in the two of us. We can't mess around like this. Zhang Xiaoxiao is even more worried that Fang Xiaowai has other options. Once you miss it, how many people will be destroyed? Fang Xiaowai now dares to take action against strangers, let alone them, who are a thorn in Fang Xiaowai's side. Song Moding was silent. He can't pat his chest and guarantee that nothing will go wrong. The world is unpredictable and there will always be surprises. It doesn't matter. I will take my time and I will always find an opportunity. Don't worry. I won't mess around and I will always keep everyone safe. Song Moding rubbed her fingers. There were still 2 babies in her small belly. Now was indeed not the best time. In case Fang Xiaowai jumps over the wall in a hurry. Zhang Xiaoxiao and the children are in danger. What I'm worried about is that Fang Xiaowai is becoming more and more violent. I suspect that the death of 5 patients in the cancer hospital at the same time is related to her. If so, this woman has murderous intentions now, and I am afraid she will go on a killing spree in the future. What I am most worried about is the old man and the old lady. They are too close to Fang Xiaowai. What happened to the old lady was weird last time, and her temperament changed so suddenly. I always felt that Fang Xiaowai was up to something. Zhang Xiaoxiao felt that Fang Xiaowai had other methods. Don't worry, the old lady has already taken care of the courtyard. It's just 2 stops away from the hospital. There are 7 or 8 courtyard houses there that belong to one person. That person is an old acquaintance of Grandma. He was severely beaten in the past. Those yards will remain in your hands after they are taken back. I always feel uneasy. Grandma just wants it, so she is willing to let go. Grandma said that you also asked her to inquire about the courtyard house. If your parents want it, they can buy it together, so that the in-laws can live together, and it is convenient for them to visit each other door to door. Zhang Xiaoxiao was pleasantly surprised. That's good. If that's the case, everyone can live together and their safety will be guaranteed. When the time comes, let Brother Jin and the others find a few people to move to our yard. I don't believe what Fang Xiaowai can do like this. Ghost. What Zhang Xiaoxiao didn't say out loud was that after returning home, he would ask everyone to take a few of his pills with them. If he found any accident, he would swallow a pill first. Whether it is bad luck or physical symptoms, at least make sure that you are not in danger. Although there is no definite evidence to prove that these accidents that happened to Qin Dazhuang were caused by Fang Xiaowai. But you must be on guard against this kind of thing. You can't wait until there is an emergency before you do it. By then it will be too late. Back home, Tang Yuan'er has been happily looking for Beizai, and his brother Beizai also has a day off today. Song Moding took a look and saw that the 2 figures of the little brother were in tacit understanding. I couldn't help but have my own plan in mind. Although the 2 children were 3 and 4 years old, they could no longer be left alone as children. As a father, he must let his children at least have the ability to protect themselves. Now that the situation has changed so drastically, if the children continue to play like this, if they encounter any danger in the future, the 2 children will not have any ability to fight against it, and that will be the worst. The situation of the human traffickers could have been seen last time, if it hadn't been for the unexpected Good Samaritan who appeared. Who knows what will happen to these 3 children in the end? Just a scalpel from Bai Yi? Is it possible to really threaten those traffickers? At that time, I am afraid that those traffickers would rather abandon the so-called Hwaji than detain these children. After all, after they are caught, it will be a serious crime. In this era, under the severe crackdown, although the traffickers may not necessarily it's the death penalty, but you can also be put in jail for decades. Man will die for money, and birds will die for food. Everyone understands this truth. Tang Yuan and Baizai have no idea that their father has arranged an extraordinary fate for them. Starting from the next day, at 5 o'clock every morning, the two of them will be woken up by song moding. Since that day, every morning, two sleepy little fat guys would run the road behind their father. At this time of the morning, there was almost no one on the road. The two of them were already sweating profusely from running. Although they didn't understand what their father wanted to do, the two of them were still very interested. It's not that the two of them can endure hardship, it's because Song Moding promised them that as long as they trained diligently and hard enough, he would take them to the shooting range to test target shooting. Every boy has a military dream in his heart. Going to the shooting range was simply the dream of these two little fat guys. Now they had the opportunity, and for this opportunity, the two of them risked their lives. Zhang Xiaoxiao looked at his two sons who were losing weight rapidly. Although he felt distressed, he could only help them improve their diet. She did not show any maternal feelings because she knew the situation was tense. For the safety of this family, Song Moding did the right thing. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Lucky Bag is Reborn with Space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 659. Chapter 659 Calculation. Fang Xiaowai now has so many points in her hands that her mind has turned away. On the one hand, she is preparing to develop her own career. On the other hand, she feels that she should deal a fatal blow to her enemies. With the 3,000 yuan in her hand, she returned home with her thoughts fluctuating. She has never had so much money at once. Of course, secretly exchanging the jewelry in her mother-in-law's jewelry box is another matter. But the money just passed through my hands and then disappeared. This 3,000 yuan was earned by myself. Fang Xiaowai bought two of the most beautiful floral dresses for her daughter, clothes that she had long admired but had never had the money to buy. She also bought a bunch of things that her daughter liked to eat but was reluctant to buy. For example, chocolate, milk powder, canned food, and my daughter's favorite cake. I bought a watch for my husband Song Mohuan. This watch cost a lot of money, a full 500 yuan. The watch on Song Mohuan's hand accidentally broke the case last year. If they went to repair it, they couldn't find the glass surface of this watch locally. It is said that this watch is an imported watch. It is difficult to find local accessories. Song Mohuan went to work all day long with the watch that already had cracks on the case. Although no one laughed at him, Fang Xiaowai knew that Song Mohuan was feeling embarrassed. This young master of song was considered a dandy in the capital back then. Now that I have gotten into this situation, there must be a gap in my heart. She bought this watch for her husband, of course because Song Mohuan was obedient to her wife, and he was very caring about his family. He was a good husband and a good father. From this point of view, Fang Xiaowai hoped that her family would be harmonious. She can earn 3,000 yuan today, and of course she can earn another 30,000 yuan tomorrow. Why not spend this small amount of money to buy a harmonious family? Of course, Fang Xiaowai also spent a lot of money on herself. After she became rich overnight, she bought all kinds of clothes. She bought a lot of clothes that she had been eyeing for a long time. When she returned home, she had only spent more than 500 yuan out of 3,000 yuan. Even in the evening, we specially prepared a delicious meal. On the table were braised prawns, braised pork ribs, and daoka roasted chicken. She specially bought this from the Hongbin building next door. The food at Hongbanlu is very delicious, but the couple's salary is limited, and in order to support their children, they rarely eat out, so today is a big expense. The family had a happy meal. Song Mohuan's recent inner gloom has finally dissipated a little. Why did you buy so many things today? I'm afraid my family doesn't have enough money. Song Mohuan is no longer the who doesn't know what life is. Now he has been smoothed away by life. Fang Xiaowai smiled and said, "Don't worry, this is me helping my friends in their operating room, and they specially thanked me for the reward. No one knows this is extra money. I didn't buy you a watch. That's yours. The watch is in such a bad condition, please replace it quickly. I heard that Director Zhou is about to be transferred. I'm afraid you are the one who has the best chance of reaching that position in the Department of Internal Medicine. You see, what does it matter if we go away? Should we give gifts or do they have to be delivered? If the exchange of favors is not done properly, who will say good things to you? You can't just improvise, as it will be too late by then." Fang Xiaowai is now very ambitious. She not only wants to achieve glory herself, but also hopes that her husband can also stand in a higher position. Song Moding and Zhang Xiaoxiao are nothing. They haven't even graduated, so they can't be considered doctors at all. But my husband has become a veritable doctor, and with the qualifications he has gained over the past few years, as long as the favors are dealt with, the relationship is in place. I'm afraid that my husband will become the director of internal medicine as soon as possible. One day, she will definitely let her husband become the deputy dean, or even move to a higher position. She never dared to think about it before, because Song Mohuan is not valued by the old man and the old lady, and no one will help him in this step. Connections. But now that she is a good wife, what can she do that she wants to do? Song Mohuan sighed, originally, I thought that I should naturally take this position, but now Dr. Wang, it is said that my father-in-law is the vice president of our hospital, and now I know that this person is hiding something deep. If it weren't for everyone vying for this position this time, his true identity wouldn't have been exposed. I usually look like a harmless person, but who knew he had such a strong trump card? I'm afraid my wishful thinking will be ruined. It's not all his fault that his grandparents have such a good hand behind him, but he has no way to get others to speak for him. Who doesn't know that Mr. Song's favorite grandson and Mrs. Song's favorite grandson is Song Moding? If Song Moding were in his position, I'm afraid the dean and vice dean would have already asked him to be promoted. In the past, he was still worried about this matter, but as time settled, and he had a daughter and a wife, his mentality changed. Suddenly I felt that it was just like that. Anyway, I had tried my best, and if I couldn't get promoted, it could only be bad luck. Which Dr. Wang? Is it the same Dr. Wang's he who came to our house for dinner last time? Fang Xiaowai asked. Song Mohuan nodded, it's Dr. Wang who we call brother, and I still regard him as a friend. Who knew that this friend would stab me in the back? After all, it's still difficult to calm down. Don't say that. Let's do this. I'm on vacation this Sunday. Then you invite Dr. Wang and friends from the department to come over and have a meal at our house. After all, we need to connect with each other. Although the two of them are in a competitive relationship, but in front of outsiders, you still have to keep your face. Don't let others laugh at you. Keep a line in everything so that we can meet again in the future. In case you fail to get promoted this time, you should also establish a good relationship with Dr. Wang. If you work under others in the future, you will never be put in the shoes of others. Fang Xiaowai planned these words for Song Mohuan. Song Mo was moved and felt a little sad. Pull Fang Xiaowai back and push her to sit on the chair. Xiaowai followed me, you suffered. Fang Xiaowai gently helped her husband straighten his collar. We are husband and wife, and you should never say this again in the future. We, husband and wife, will live a good life together if we work together. I don't believe it. Without the help of the old man and the old lady, you really can't accomplish anything. Believe me, you are not the kind of person they think you are. Song Mo-huan saw his wife's trust and support, and suddenly felt that he was extremely proud. Yes. My wife is right. Even if you don't get promoted this time, you still have to think about your future. You will still have to live under Dr. Wang's hands, so there is nothing wrong with building a good relationship in advance. End of this chapter. The lucky bag is reborn with space. Author, Floating World. Chapter 660. Chapter 660, Coming to the Door. When Fang Xiaowai appeared at Jiang's house. It was very unfortunate that she came today. Fan Qiuying and Zhang Lishi were not here because Mrs. Song had chosen a house and Zhang Xiaoxiao and Song Moding had to go to school. So let them go to see the house with Mr. Song and Mrs. Song. If the house is suitable, they will buy it directly. Zhang Xiaoxiao prepared all the money for her mother. That's very good. When the time comes, it will be easier for several families to live together and take care of each other. Besides, it's lively when everyone lives together. Even if they eat together during the New Year and holidays, it's still better than the two of them living alone. Mr. Wu and Mrs. Wu heard that Mrs. Song and the others wanted to move. How can these two be willing? They had made up their minds to go with Mrs. Song. The two of them will move wherever Zhang Xiaoxiao and the others move. Anyway, the couple is not short of money. At this age, what the two of them care about most is glutinous rice balls. Besides, 2 more children will soon be born in Zhang Xiaoxiao's belly. The biggest wish of the old man and the old woman now is to live a good life with their grandchildren. This time when we went to see the house, there was a large group of people. When Fang Xiaowai came, Zhang Xian was the only one at home. After sending her 2 daughters to school, Zhang Xian had some free time this morning, so she didn't go directly to the store. She was cutting drawings at home. Seeing Fang Xiaowai, Zhang Xian frowned. Didn't Fang Xiaowai completely fall out with their family? How come you are running back now? How shameless does this woman want to be? It happens again and again, even if it is a biological person. Is it possible that the human heart can withstand the torment so much? Fang Xiaowai didn't know that the things she did were chilling. Zhang Xian never regarded Fang Xiaowai as her sister in her heart. There is no way. Although they have the same blood in their bones, they did not grow up together and have no basis for affection. If you say this is your sister, can you really regard her as your sister? That's a lie. The relationship between people depends not only on blood relationship, but also on the basis of mutual exchange of emotions. What are you doing here? Didn't you tell your parents clearly last time that you were severing the relationship? Why are you so shameless and coming back now? Zhang Xian was not polite at all. She used to be a gentle and considerate wife and a good sister, but she really couldn't be nice to Fang Xiaowai. This woman has made her parents very angry over and over again. She just hoped that this Fang Xiaowai would not come here in the future, so as not to make her parents angry. She also hopes that her parents can live a few more years. Fang Xiaowai would come back from time to annoy her parents. Last time, Fan Qiuying was so angry that she was almost hospitalized. Fang Xiaowai's face turned dark. No one in this family treats her sincerely. Look at how she looks like a sister. If she treats you like an enemy, don't blame her for being rude. Originally, she had bad intentions when she came this time. Who does Zhang Xiaoxiao care about most? The ones he cared about the most were Fan Qiuying and Zhang Lishi. In Zhang Xiaoxiao's mind, these two were just like his biological father and mother. Fang Xiaowai has long been unwilling to give in. Fan Qiuying and Zhang Lishi actually treated Zhang Xiaoxiao, their unrelated daughter, better than their biological daughter. Finally, she now has a chance to take revenge. She is very smart and did not exchange the talisman to deal with MRS Song. Even if the talisman were to be used, Zhang Xiaoxiao would immediately notice that something was wrong. Since he was able to solve the talisman on MRS Song's body last time, Zhang Xiaoxiao must have a way to deal with himself. She now has a different kind of talisman. Since Fan Qiuying and his wife are not here, let Zhang Xian give it a try. Second sister, no matter what, we are also biological sisters. The last time I said something indiscriminately, it was because I missed my parents, so I came here to take a look. You don't have to always target me. Since my parents are not here, then I just leave. I hope your business will be prosperous, second sister. Zhang Xian didn't expect that Fang Xiaowai would just say such a sentence, turn around and leave. There were no harsh words, nor any rebuttal and rebuke. It was not like the attitude last time at all. Just left so quietly? She really didn't see what Fang Xiaowai's mentality was. Forget it, she didn't have the time to care about Fang Xiaowai. She was busy with things recently. I recently received a large order to make 10 suits, which are for people to wear to meetings. Time is tight, and the fabrics are exquisite and require handwork. The processing fee for the order alone is 3,000 yuan. I have signed a contract with others. If I do something wrong, I will have to pay 10 times the compensation. Zhang Xian didn't have time to pay attention to these things. In the afternoon, Fan Qiuying and his wife came back, their faces full of excitement. Not to mention, they were really satisfied with the courtyard house they visited today. The price of this courtyard is actually not high, a set of courtyards only costs 3,000 yuan. I have been unable to follow my daughter for too long, and now my vision has gradually become higher. 3,000 yuan began to seem like nothing in their eyes. The most important thing is that the location is good. They even looked at Zhang Xiaoxiao's private hospital, which is right in front of them. You must know that the location of this private hospital is very good. It is surrounded by the most prosperous pedestrian street here. More importantly, there is a very large park behind this pedestrian street. Next to the park, there are primary schools, middle schools, and a university 2 stops away. The surrounding vegetable markets, morning markets, and night markets are all available. They also looked at the 4-sided courtyard. One courtyard has 2 entrances. Really speaking, if this set of yards is separated by a wall, it will become 2 separate houses. What's more important is that these sets of courtyard houses are adjacent to each other. The couple discussed it with MRS Song and MRS Wu, and they decided to order 4 sets directly. The couple is so generous, of course, there are 4 children at home. 3 girls and 1 son, they will definitely live with the son in the future, but the 3 girls each have a courtyard, so it is not an injustice to them. These children have been filial in recent years, and all of them are capable. The eldest son-in-law Qin Ming now works in a power plant and is already the deputy director. The monthly salary alone is more than 500. Of course, there are also some approval slips that have been processed. I will send something to the deputy director and the director. Everyone else accepts gifts. It would be a bit inappropriate for Qin Ming not to accept them. It seems a bit unsociable. Qin Ming and his uncle Fan Jiangguo discussed that this thing was not considered a violation of the regulations, so they accepted it. So the recovered items were resold in my uncle's department store. In fact, you have a lot of money after 1 year, so you have a lot of money to honor your mother-in-law. Every year, the couple is basically given 1,000 yuan in living expenses, mainly for the eldest son-in-law and his 2 girls, who also go to the mother-in-law's house for food from time to time. Zhang Xian is now running her own business. Regardless of how good the business is, her monthly income is 5 to 6,000 yuan. Zhang Xian gives 1,000 yuan to her family every month. The couple originally disliked each other too much, but the daughter said that she had never honored her parents in these years. In addition, She brought her 2 children out, and it was entirely her parents who took care of them. Finally, I can make money by myself now, and I have the opportunity to be filial to my parents. This amount of money is not too much compared to the money I earn. I can completely afford it, so the couple can only accept it. Zhonglei is now in the transportation team, and his monthly salary is 300 to 400 yuan. This boy has now learned how to give half of his salary to his parents every month, and the couple saves it for him to marry him. Although Song Moding and Zhang Xiaoxiao appear to be students, they don't seem to have much income. But Song Moding would give the couple 100 yuan every month. Zhang Xiaoxiao quietly told his parents that it turned out that Song Moding and Jin Dachuan were doing business together. So there's really no need to worry about them. This little money is not a problem to them, so it is conceivable that the couple has a lot of money at all. The couple had already planned that the children would not have to spend any money to buy a house this time, and the couple was reluctant to spend all the money the children gave them. It just so happens that I used it to buy a house this time. End of this chapter.